So for today's notes, we're going to start with section 1.1, and actually 1.1 we broke it up into 3 lessons. This first lesson is points, lines, segments, and rays. We're going to define those, learn how to draw those, draw and label all those different items there. So the first thing we have here is the point, and the description of a point. You guys all know what a point is. It's just like a dot, but in geometry they want to say it has 0 dimensions, and then a drawing of a point, there you go, that's a point, and this point I'm labeling it P, right? P for point. And when you name it, naming it is a bit different. You can just use P, or you can call it point P. Okay, so that's the first word we're going to define. Then we have line, and again, you guys have, I'm pretty sure you have a good understanding of what a line is, but in geometry it's a collection of points with no end, meaning it goes off forever in both directions, right? Also, even though I only have 2 points in here, there's a whole bunch of points in here that we could find. Okay, so that's the drawing of a line, and to name it, we're going to use the 2 letters A, B. The order doesn't matter, it could be A, B, or B, A, and then kind of put a line with arrowheads at the ends. We'll call these arrowheads. Okay, so it could be line AB or line BA. The direction doesn't matter. Okay, so that's the definition of a line. Okay, gonna move this up a little bit. Then we have a line segment. A line segment is part of a line. Imagine if we took a line and we just cut it, right? So it doesn't go on forever. Okay, it's just part of a line. It does have a start or a beginning, and it has an end. And where it starts and where it ends, those are called endpoints. Okay, they're called endpoints. So it looks like this. It doesn't go on forever, so it doesn't have these arrowheads at the end. It just has points at the ends. And then that's the drawing. And to name it, we just use a piece of a line or a line. And again, whichever order, doesn't matter. It can be, you can say it starts here and goes to Y, or you can say it starts at Y and it goes to X. So we can call it line segment XY or line segment YX. Okay. Then we have array. Array. Imagine we start with a line and then you cut it only one time. So array would be the part that's left over after you cut. So it starts here and then it goes forever in this direction. Okay. So it says a line with one end point. So there's the end point P. You can think of it as stopping there or starting there. I'd like to think it starts there. It starts and goes forever in one direction only. Okay, so for this one, it starts at P and it goes forever in this direction towards Q. And this one, it has to be like this, PQ. Now we know which side to put P on, because P doesn't have an arrowhead on this side. See, Q is next to the arrowhead, so when you write it, Q should be up by the arrowhead over here, and then P is by just a plain line, no arrowhead. Same thing here. Okay, so that's array. Next we have collinear. Collinear just means it's basically being on the same line. That's collinear. The book described it as lying on the same line. Again, it's just when points are on the same line, it's called collinear. So here's an example. I have all these points here. Only M, N, and P are collinear. Q is not collinear because it's not on this line. Pretty easy. Okay, so that's what collinear is. We don't need to define not collinear, it's just not on the same line. Opposite rays, this is the last one. Opposite rays, it's pretty much two rays with the same endpoint. So remember, this is what a ray looks like. So imagine you have a ray going in this direction, and then you have a ray going in this direction. Those are opposite rays. You could think of it like this, right? And then however it goes, that doesn't matter. But two rays going in opposite direction. And you may say it looks like a line. Well, it does look like a line, right? But anyway, be sure when you name these, this is RS, and it starts at R and it goes towards S. See? And the other ray is R and it goes towards T. So RT. So ray RS and ray RT are opposite rays. They're opposite rays. Okay? Those are all the definitions. Now let's do some examples for the assignment. So for the examples, this is draw and label each of the following. So again, you can look back at the notes we just took. If I wanted to draw this is line segment or line BD, right? So let me just first draw a line, and then it has 2 points, right? And that's the drawing of it. Okay, if you wanted to, there's actually a bunch of different drawings you could do. If you wanted to, you could put the D first and the B second. That technically is correct also. Any variation of that, of these two, will work. There's a couple of important things. It does need to have arrowheads at the end, and it does need to have 2 dots or 2 points, and you have to have the letters BD. That's it. The order on this one does not matter. Okay. So for 2, this is ray NM. Now this one's different than number 1, because this one does matter. This is kind of telling me it starts here and it goes in this direction. So let's go, starts with N and it goes forever towards M. Okay. Now the direction that it goes doesn't matter. What matters, let's say if I want to make it move to the left, what matters is it starts here, again it's starting at N, and it goes towards M. See? These two may look different to you guys, but they're not different. N has the dot over it on both of them, and M is closer to the arrowhead on both of them. Same thing like the name up here. Okay? And then we're going to draw line segment TS. Line segment is similar to a line. It really doesn't matter how you place the letters. What matters, though, I'll tell you what matters. What matters is it ends with dots, 2 dots, and really that's it. TS or ST, same thing. Okay. This is the only one that's pretty specific. You have to have the N over the dot, and the M has to be next to the arrowhead. These two are interchangeable. This one's specific. Okay, so that's the example for those. Let me go down a little. So this is the next example. It says name each line, ray, or line segment. So here they have them drawn out, and then we're just going to name them. And naming them, it's super easy. Like these are the names, and these are the drawings, right? So for B, these are the drawings, and then we're going to name them. So this is a line segment. How do I know it's a line segment? Because it doesn't have the arrowheads at the end. So I'm going to use the two letters F, R, and then put a little line segment over it. That's it. If you wanted to, you could have put RF. Maybe put OR. RF. Again, that one doesn't matter because it really doesn't have direction. This ray, this is a ray. This one does have direction. Again, I like to say it starts at the dot and it goes towards the arrowhead. So this one has to be like this. It starts at the dot and it goes towards the arrowhead. There's no other way you can name this one. That's it. That's ray and RM. And then this one, this is line XY or line YX. So line XY. And then again, it has to have the arrowheads on top. Or you don't have to put both answers. I'm just showing you both answers. YX. Unless it does ask for two. Sometimes you'll be asked, name it two different ways, and you have to name it two different ways. So again, this one has the little arrowheads on top, right? No arrowheads, and then one arrowhead, two arrowheads. So there's the second set of examples. Again, if you go back to the top, we drew some. Here we're naming them, and then C is just another set of problems we want to work out, looking for collinear. So here it says which points are collinear. Again, it's just which ones are on the same line. So X, Y, and T are on the same line. So I'll just say points X, Y, and T. Those are collinear. They're on the same line. And then which point or points are not collinear? Z. Z is not collinear. And there you go. Those are today's notes. And do the assignments.